Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar, run for the UKV, look at the precipitation and the temperature over the next 5 days, as we have got some temporarily milder and drier conditions through this bank holiday weekend. But as we head into next week, it is likely to turn very unsettled once again, with lots of heavy rain and widespread showers as well whenever we do see breaks in those longer spells of rain. The one positive is that it will most likely be generally pretty mild, so temperatures are more likely to be in the low to mid-teens, but I don't think that is anything particularly great when it is going to be raining a lot of the time. As we see from some of the longer range charts, this pattern is looking likely to continue throughout the first full week of April. Potentially we could see some higher pressure building towards the middle of the month. GFS is hinting at that, but that is at the sort of 2-week time frame, which, as we know, is pretty unreliable. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, which you like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well. The link's in the description. Now, if we start on the live radar, you can see there is a few showers around this evening, and yes, it is a reasonable activity. But compared to what it's been over the past few days, it really isn't too bad. Still, some squally showers will continue through this evening, especially for northern and western areas. But you can see vast areas of seeing decently dry conditions through today, and it'll be again pretty dry through tomorrow and into Sunday, maybe even Monday, before rainfall starts to return from the southwest through Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, if you put on the temperatures this evening, you can see it isn't particularly warm, but it's not particularly cold either. The colder conditions we saw earlier this week, we did even see some snow across southwest England, Wales, that is now being pushed away. That cold area is well out into the North Sea, maybe Scotland, but mostly away. And you can see we have got milder air pushing back in. But it's not incredibly mild. Temperatures likely to be mid to high single digits overnight, maybe mid-teens in the day at best. So do have a look at the latest UKV over the course of the next couple of days. You can see showers through this afternoon faded away, but you can see they were pretty hefty further northwards and westwards. But what you did to avoid them hasn't been too bad today. As we head into Saturday, still some showers around, and as we head into the afternoon, again, we could see a few heavy showers for northern areas and western areas, Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland, but much of England and Wales, it's actually pretty dry, quite a lot of sunshine. It will be a fairly pleasant Saturday for the end of March. Temperatures not exceptional, I must say. Upper temperatures aren't that warm. They're around average, if not slightly below average, so we may just about hit mid-teens. As we head into Easter Sunday, there could be a bit of heavier rain overnight. Saturday into the Republic of Ireland, a few showers around as we head into Sunday, especially lingering across parts of the Midlands, and then rain starting to push into the southwest. But again, largely a pretty positive day. Sunshine further northwards, and maybe even towards the far south coast, but bring the risk of showers there. And again, temperatures maybe into the mid-teens. As we head into Monday, that rain starts to push in, but it really doesn't do all too much. It kind of peters away. So into the first day of April, showers around, thicker cloud as the remnants of that weather system. But for most, it's actually another pretty dry day. Into Tuesday, again, it starts off a little bit dry, but then look at this big band of precipitation moving in through the afternoon into the evening, and we see our return to very unsettled conditions once again, with pretty torrential rain moving back in. And you can see through much of Wednesday that rainfall continues, so consecutive pretty horrible days, and we're likely to see more of the weather systems move through for the second half of the week as well. Now, if you put on the max temperatures, you can see this afternoon we did get out into the low teens. Nothing exceptional though. Overnight tonight, I said mid to high single digits, and into tomorrow afternoon we could just about hit the mid-teens, maybe 13 to 15 degrees, maybe even an isolated 16 degrees could be in there somewhere. Again, into Sunday, mid to high single digits overnight, chilly but nothing too cold. And then into Sunday afternoon, again, we could hit those mid-teens, where we see that thick cloud, maybe a bit of rain, will hold those temperatures in the mid to high single digits. So again, will be very varied depending on cloud and precipitation amounts. As we head into Monday, again, colder further northwards, and then into the afternoon again, same picture milder, where we do see clearer skies, of course less rain, but where you can see the band of precipitation that is still sort of lingering around with a bit of cloud and showers across parts of the Midlands, 8 to 10 degrees. And then, of course, into Tuesday, initially mild, but as that precipitation moves in, it will hold those temperatures down. You can see into Wednesday afternoon where the rain is lingering, maybe only 6 or 7 degrees. See, the temperature is nothing too exceptional over the next few days, but it is in a positive direction. And, of course, we are going to be seeing dry conditions for quite a few the next couple of days before it does turn exceptionally unsettled once again into next week. Now, if you have a look at the latest longer range, we start on the GFS, see low pressure over the top of us at the moment, but it is filling in. The pressure is rising, isobars spreading out, and that's why we will see dry conditions over the next couple of days. But it's not a pattern change, no big high pressures pushing in, we're just getting a lucky break for a few days. You can see into next week, Greenland high, we'd expect cold conditions, but because of the orientation and the positioning of the jet stream, cold air actually filters into the North Atlantic, fueling low pressure systems coming in off the Atlantic. So it actually means that we go very unsettled, potentially even stormy with some of these lows moving in. And I said the GFS stays unsettled out sort of the day 10 range, the reliable time frame, but into the longer range when we get to the unreliable time frame, that's 2 weeks. Look at this, high pressure building in, something we've not seen in the model output for quite a while. If we look at the upper temperatures, actually pushing in some reasonably mild, if not warm air. And if we did actually have a look at the 2 metre temperatures at the surface for the UK, we could even see mid to high teens if we did see some of those properly warm air mass move in. You see 23 degrees there across the near continent. That could waft in if we are lucky in this sort of scenario. But as I said, this is one run. Majority have not shown any high pressure for a couple of weeks now, so we will just have to see. But potentially a little bit of a glimmer of hope. If we do have a look at the latest GM now, again, it's broadly pretty similar out to day 10. Low pressure filling in for a period of time this weekend before we do see that Greenland high develop, and then low pressure coming barreling off the Atlantic, once again spiralling around, giving generally very unsettled conditions. And you see the jet stream pushes southwards, so the upper air temperatures are going to be oscillating between below average and above average. We could for a time, especially to the latter part of next week, be above average, see that wind direction in from the southwest, but longer term will likely return to average, and maybe even some blasts of colder air within that. Finally, for the long range charts, if we do compare to the ECMWF, again, low pressure filling in this weekend, and then we see the barrage of low pressure back in for next week, looking very unsettled, and right at the extended range, again, you can see milder air masses are dominating from the southwest, but cold air not too far away, so still plausible. See a few colder blasts, maybe some isolated snow events potentially for Scotland, if we see that cold air drift in. Now, just to finish, if we look at the latest ensembles, you can see it's very well reflected around average over the next 5 or 6 days. Low precipitation for the next couple, and then precipitation picks up into next week. You can see as that precipitation really spikes next week into the next weekend, we do see the upper air temperatures rise as well. It is going to be touch and go whether we actually do see some fruition from those upper air temperatures. Of course, they're going to contribute to heavier rain, but they could just about contribute to maybe some milder temperatures in the day. But it will be all dependent on if we do see any sunshine out there. You can see beyond that, temperatures do return back towards average, and that's where we could see some cold little snaps there. But you can see the precipitation signal is fairly consistent, so that GFS showing some high pressure building in isn't looking like it's got much support at this stage. If you do look at those 2 metre temperatures, you can see there is a rise definitely into the first week of April, but it's not considerable. It's maybe 15, 16 degrees. And of course, if it's raining, it's not going to feel particularly great at all. And if we do finish by looking at the latest ECMWF, unfortunately the midday run hasn't fully come out yet. We'll have to look at the midnight run, but look at it, it's broadly similar to the GFS. Pretty decent agreement over the past few days, and once again today from the 2 ensemble runs that it's going to be low pressure dominated, high precipitation with that, and upper air temperatures to spike a bit into the first week of April, but we're unlikely to see, as said, much fruition from that in our surface temperatures because of all the cloud and rain around. So unfortunately, if you're looking forward to some drier, warmer weather as we head into April, there are no signs really at this stage, maybe apart from that one GFS operational run. Majority of ensemble runs and operational runs over the past few days have been keeping dominant lower pressure involved. But as I said, things can change very quickly. We'll have to keep a very close eye on it, but for the time being, I'd say the next 10 days, apart from the next 2, it's going to be very unsettled. Temperatures generally around average or maybe even slightly above average. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.